television city in Hollywood. It's Card Shark. Here's the host of Card Shark, Bob Eubanks.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Hello, everybody. And welcome to Card Shark. This is the game where you can win a lot of money, and it depends on the cards. And speaking of the cards, I want you to meet our two lovely dealers, and here they are right now.
Hello.
Yes, this is Susanna and Lacey.
Hello.
They're the dealers on Card Sharks. And girls, if you're ready to play the game, let's do that. And today it will be Lacey who's dealing the red cards, right, to our returning champion. Susanna will be dealing the blue cards on the lower level to our challenger. And while they're doing that, I want you to meet our Card Sharks because we're going to pick it up from where we left off yesterday. And here they are. See her smile? Julie is smiling because she's $12,000 richer than she was a few days ago. What do you do with that money?
I'm going to buy a new car.
Why not?
Why not?
Spend it and have fun.
That's what I'm going to do.
Good idea.
I want a sunroof on my car. I want a new car. I want a red car. I'm going to get a car.
You're going to try to add to it today, aren't you?
Yes.
All right. Well, there's a lady standing next to you who's going to try to keep that from happening. She's going, no, 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 because I need to buy a new house. And her name is Tammie. Hi, Tammie.
Hi, my name's Tammie Iverson, and I live in La Habra. I work for a dental office in Fullerton, and my husband and I are expecting our first in 9 weeks.
That's right. Going to be a mama for the
Yes,
first
I'm going to
time.
be a mommy.
Good luck to both of you today. Now, remember, we are going to pick it up from where we left off last time. As you know, the object of our game is to work your way across the board by predicting whether each card is higher or lower than the one preceding it. I know you cut the cards before we went on the air. And where we left off yesterday, Tammie had won the first game. We are now in the middle of the second game, if I remember correctly, and we were ready with our second high-low question, and it goes to Tammie. So good luck to our two contestants. And here's our first question of the day. We surveyed 100 men, Tammie, and we asked them, have you ever bet a whole week's pay on a single sporting event? How many men admitted that they have, Tam?
Well, I would say, my husband would never do it because he's married, and I would shoot him if he spent his whole paycheck. But I would think if they were single, why not you only live once? I'd say it's going to be a fairly high number, about 64.
64 out of 100 men bet the whole week's pay on a single sporting event.
Yep.
Wow.
I think
Julie,
so.
higher or lower than 64?
I've got a feeling that's lower.
Yeah, you think it's going to be lower than that?
Yeah.
I think so, too. I can't even imagine doing that. I would be so nervous.
Wild.
The actual number of men who have bet a whole week's pay on a sporting event is 17. Yes, Julie, it was lower. Now, as I said before, we're picking it up where we left off yesterday. We're in the middle of game number 2. Julie had frozen on the 9, and because you won the high-low question, you can now change that 9.
I want to change that
Well, let's
card.
do it then. The 9 now becomes an 8. Lower than the 8. It is now a 7. Player freeze.
Freeze, Bob.
Okay, she's going to freeze on the 7, and that keeps Tammie away from her cards. And if she wins the next high-low question, she'll have a chance to change that 7 like she did just a moment ago. And the next question goes to Julie. Julie, we surveyed 100 women. We asked them, when you graduated from high school, were you still a virgin? How many women said they were still a virgin?
Well, I think that's going to be a relatively middle-of-the-road number. I'm going to stick
Are your
with a
parents in the
middle
audience,
road.
Julie?
My parents are definitely not.
I see.
I'm going to say 35.
35 out of 100 women said they were still a virgin when they graduated from high school. Tammie, higher or lower than 35?
Well, I'm not going to say personally what I think, only because I'm not going to let my mom's in the audience, too. So I'm going to say I think it's going to be... I think it's going to be a little bit higher.
A little bit higher than 35
I think it's
women
going to be
said
a
they were
little
still
bit
a
higher.
virgin. I think it's going to be quite a bit
so.
higher. Now, maybe I'm the eternal optimist, but we'll see. The actual number of women who were still a virgin when they graduated from high school is 57. It was higher. All right, now, Tammie, here's where we left off with you. You got the 2.
And higher.
And you're going to go higher than the 2. Your card is now a 4.
Higher.
Higher than the 4. There's a 7. Will you play a freeze?
Freeze.
Okay, using the same strategy, keep the opponent away from her cards. And by freezing on the 7, she has done that. And now, this is our 4th and final question in this game, game number 2. Remember, if Tammie wins the game, she becomes our new champ. Julie wins the game, well, we'll have a tiebreaker game. So, this is sudden death time. Someone must win this game on this play of the cards. Control is very important. Here it is. It's for you, Tammie. We surveyed 100 people, and we asked them, have you ever eaten something in the supermarket and then not paid for it?
Oh, gosh.
How many people admitted that they have?
I think it might be a higher number than the people will admit. Who would admit that they've eaten something and not paid for it? I would never have enough guts. So I would just say it's going to be a fairly low number. I would say it's only be like 15.
Only 15 out of 100.
Yeah.
Julie, higher or lower?
Higher. That's higher.
You think it's higher?
It's higher.
Yeah.
It's higher.
I have to, I steal a grape or two once in a while.
Yeah, we've all done it.
Until I found out what they put on the grapes before.
Oh.
Anyway, the actual number of people who have eaten something in the supermarket without paying for it is 49. It was higher, Julie. Woo. All right. Now, as you know, it's sudden death. Now, here are your options. You can change the 7 and play it out. If you goof, Tammie wins the game and becomes the champion. Or you can pass it on to her. She's got to play off the 7. If she goofs, you win the game. What do you want to do, Julie?
I'm going to change my card.
You change the 7. The lady is not going to pass it. She's going to go on. The 7 now becomes a queen. Lower than the queen. If it's lower than the queen, we're all tied up. Deuce, Okay, tied it up. 1 game for Julie, 1 game for Tammie. Big deep breath over there. That means we must play a tiebreaker game to see who our champion is going to be. And we also must pause for these words. We'll be right back for that tiebreaker game, so don't go away. Welcome back to Card Shark. Each one of our players won a game. That means it's time to play our tiebreaker game. And then the winner of that tiebreaker game will become our champion. So, Lacey is dealing out new cards from the same deck. Remember, 3 cards only and a maximum of 3 high-low questions in the tiebreaker. And here is that first question for our champion, Julie. Julie, we surveyed 100 single women. We asked them, if you met a man you really liked, but he wore an earring in one ear, would you go out with him anyway? How many single women would go out with a man who wore an earring?
You know, Bob, I would. I
you?
don't think that would have any effect on me going out with somebody.
As long as it matched his dress, right?
That's right. I think it's going to be a relatively high number. I'm going to have to say 85.
85 out of 100 women said they would go ahead and date him anyway. Tammie, higher or lower than 85?
I think it's going to be just a little bit lower. I think it's becoming accepted for a guy to have an earring, but I think it's just going to be a little bit lower.
Think lower. All right. Well, the actual number of single women who would go out with a man who wore an earring is 75. You're right, it was lower. Tammie, you have control of the cards first, and remember, you can change this card. Because you won the high-low question, it is an 8.
Change it.
Change that card. The card now becomes a 4.
Higher.
Higher than a 4. Your card is an 8.
Lower.
Lower. We're going to have a new champion. Look at there. And Tammie wins the tiebreaker game. Well, Julie, we have to say goodbye to you. You won $12,100. Buy yourself a new car.
I'm going to.
And thanks for being with us. We'll see you again. Bye-bye. Come here, Tammie. Come right over here. Don't run. Please don't run. I want you to stand right over here.
Okay.
Right there. Okay. 9 weeks, right?
9 weeks.
Okay, don't do anything foolish.
Yes. Not too excited.
I have no desire to be around when that happens. Congratulations to you. You are our new champ. You've got $200, and now Susanna and Lacey are going to come in here. You cut the cards before we went on the air, and they're going to start dealing out the cards to play our big bunny game now, where you can win lots of dollars. And the $200 you've won thus far is yours to keep, no matter what happens. But now, we're going to give you new money to bet with, and we'll start you on the bottom line with $200. And what you must do is bet your way across the line, and by calling off high and low cards. And when you get to the second row, we'll add another $400 to your betting money, and you bet your way across the board there. Remember, minimum bets are $50 each until you get up there on the top level. At that time, you must bet at least half of your dollars. And don't forget also, you're going to have 3 opportunities. You have an opportunity on each row to change 1 card per row by selecting one of those cards that Susanna is dealing out right now. Understand?
Yes.
All right, give the lady $200, please. She's got it now. You can turn that $200 into $32,000 if the cards roll right for you. Good luck, Tammie. Like to see you do it. All right, here we go. Big money cards, and your card is a jack, and you got $200.
I'm going to bet all of it lower.
So all of it, that is lower than the jack. The card is a 4. You've got $400.
I'm going to bet all of it higher.
All of it higher than the 4. The lady's a gambler. Woo! Very close. $800. You can play it or you can change it.
I'm going to change the card with number 3.
Change the 5. She wants card number 3. All right, the 5 now becomes an 8.
Oh.
Now $800.
I'm going to bet $200. It's going to be lower.
200. That is lower than the 8. The card is an 8. It's okay. No win, no loss. In the big money cards, no win, no loss.
Okay.
It's just a push. The 8 now comes up here. You've got 800. We'll give you another $400 in betting money. It gives you $1,200, and you can change this card if you like.
Yes, I want to change it with number 1.
Number 1 card. Let's see what the 8 now becomes. The 8 is now a 6. Gotta play it. You got $1,200.
I'm going to bet $500. It's going to be higher.
$500 higher than the 6. Your card is an 8. Now you got $1,700, and you got to play it.
I'm going to bet... I'm going to bet $700. It's going to be higher.
700 higher than the 8. Come on. Yeah. You are at $2,400.
I'm going to bet all of it is going to be lower.
All of it, that it's lower than the king. Yes. Now you're at $4,800. The 7 comes up here. You must bet at least $2,400, and you can change that card if you like.
I want to change the card.
Remember, your minimum bet is now $2,400. The 7 is now a queen.
I'm going to bet all of it is lower.
All of it lower than the queen. Good luck to you. Love to see it happen. Jack, yes! You did it! $9,600! Easy, please. Don't jump around too much, okay? Please. Just hang on to what you got, and we will pause for these words. We'll be right back with our champion, and we'll meet a new challenger at that time. Now, be careful.
A cup of chocolate chips.
Welcome back to Card Shark. Hey, if you'd like to be a contestant on our show, we'd love to have you come down and try out, and Susanna's going to tell you how you can do that.
Thanks. Just send a postcard to contestants, Card Shark, 6430 Sunset Boulevard, Hollywood, California, 90028. Or if you're in Southern California, dial area code 213-520-1234. Donald Duck. If you do that to me one more time.
Thank you, Susanna. Hi, Tammie.
Hi.
$9,800 in just a
I love it.
Isn't that neat? All right. I think it's just wonderful.
So
It really
do I.
is. Okay, I know you do. Let's meet your new challenger. And right now, here he is.
Hi, Bob.
Is it Barjan?
Yes.
I pronounced it right?
Baruchan.
Barjan.
Yes.
Every time I mispronounce it, just reach over and whap me. See, that's why I have an easy name like Bob. You can even spell it backwards and get it right.
You got it.
Varuzhan.
Yes.
All right, tell us about Varuzhan.
Well, my name is Varujan Ajemian. I was born in Romania, and I'm an attorney.
Are you?
Yes.
What kind of law do you specialize in?
Well, right now I take anything I can get.
I know, yes. My law firm does the same thing. Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe. Do you know them?
Oh, yeah, I work with them closely.
You
Yes.
do?
Yeah.
You cut the cards, I assume, backstage?
Yes, I did,
Good
Bob.
for you. All right. Now, Lacey's dealing out new cards from a brand new deck, and let's begin this match between Tammie and Varujan. And we will start with our first high-low question of game number 1. And, Tammie, it's yours. Tammie, we surveyed 100 business executives who are the heads of the largest companies across the country. And we asked them, is your job more important to you than your family? How many top business executives said, yes, their job comes first?
Well, personally, I would hope your family always comes first, whether you're top executive or not. But I think many executives are probably not married even. So they might answer that. I'm going to say about 73.
73 out of 100 business executives said, yes, their job comes first. Varujan, higher or lower than that?
Well, I consider myself a business executive also. So, and I know business is more important to me than family is right now, but I still think it's lower than that.
Think it's going to be lower than 73?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a lot lower. I really do. I think your family is so important to you, making you successful in your business. Let's see. The actual number of executives who said their job comes first is 34. It was lower. Varujan, you are right. That means you have control of the cards. Remember, you can change the space because you won the high-low question. Let's see if you want to, though. It's a deuce.
No. Let's go higher.
Higher than the deuce. Your card now is a 4.
Okay, let's go higher.
We go on. Higher than the 4. The card is a king.
Let's go lower.
Lower than the king. Look out. got it to 7. Play a freeze.
Whoa, let's freeze.
Freeze on the 7. All right, good move, because by freezing on the 7, you may be able to change that, and of course, you keep Tammie away from the cards on that question. And let's go again. Barry-Jean, this one is yours. We surveyed 100 women, and we asked them, if you could change the size of your bust, would you make it larger or smaller? How many women said they would make their bust larger?
Well, I think you're asking the right person.
Why am I asking the right person?
Well, I'm a bust man, if you pardon the expression. I love, a busty woman.
No kidding.
Yeah. I mean, the bustier the better is my saying. Yeah.
Let me write that down. We'll use that sometime.
Okay. So I would have to say that they would want to get it.
How many would want to make their bust larger?
I think they'd want to get it larger, and I think it'd be 46.
Oh, 46 out of 100 said they'd like to make their bust larger.
Right.
Tammie, higher or lower than 46?
I think it's going to be just a little bit higher. Most women seems like they're not happy with their chest size, and they would like to have a little bit more.
I'll bet you it's a lot more. Actual number of women who would make their bust size larger is 53, just a little bit higher. You were right, Tammie. Tammie was right about that. All right, now, Tammie, time to do some catching up.
Okay.
Here's your card. It is a 4. You can play it or you can change it.
Higher.
Higher than the 4. Your card is now an 8. Good. Lower than the 8. Come on, Tammie. It's a 6. Play or freeze.
I'm going to freeze.
Freeze on the 6.
I'm going to freeze.
And again, she's using the same strategy. That way, she keeps her opponent away from the cards. All right, we will continue with game number 1 of this match between Tammie and Barry-Jean. But first, we must pause. We'll be back with more card charts right after this. We're always looking for special groups to participate in our polls, and today we're looking for people who are engaged to be married. So if you're engaged, well, here's Susanna to tell you where to write.
Just send us a postcard to Engaged, Card Shark, 6430 Sunset Boulevard, Hollywood, California, 90028. And to you, Bob?
Thank you, Susanna. We are right in the middle now of a very exciting game between Tammie and Barry-Jean. Barry-Jean's just one card away from winning this game, and Tammie, you have to catch up if you can. So the next high-low question goes to our champion, Tammie. Tammie, we surveyed 100 men in the United States Marines, and we asked them, would it bother you if your superior officer were a woman? How many Marines said, yeah, it would bother them?
That's going to be a high number. I know men have such a big ego, and if a woman's ahead of them, I know they're just going to think that's terrible. I think it's going to be at least 83.
83 out of 100 Marines that it would bother them. Barry-Jean, higher or lower than 83?
Well, the Marines are the proud, the few, and 83 sounds too high to me, so I'm going to have to say lower.
You think it's going to be lower than 83? Well, the actual number of Marines who said it would bother them to have a woman superior officer is 43. Considerably lower. I'm not sure you're telling the truth, though.
All right.
All right, Barry-Jean, there you are.
Change it.
Get rid of that 7. Man wants to win this game, and now the 7 becomes a 9, and now you got to play. Higher or lower than the 9?
Lower, Bob, lower.
Lower than the 9. If it is lower than the 9, you win game number 1 of this match. The card is lower. Barry-Jean, you win the first game. You okay?
Yeah.
All right, that's game number 1. You got $100 now. That means that, Tammie, you've got to win this next game because first person to win 2 games then goes on to play the big money cards. All right, Lacey's going to start dealing out cards now from the same deck, and we will start game number 2. Barry-Jean, for you. We surveyed 100 women flight attendants. We asked them, have you ever accepted a date from a passenger? How many stewardesses have accepted a date from a passenger?
Well, I'm a frequent flyer. You know those programs, frequent flyer programs? And I try to ask every flight attendant that I can.
How's it going so far?
Not too good. Not too good. So I'm going to have to say it's quite a high number. I'm going to have to say it's 58.
58 out of 100. Tammie, higher or lower than 58?
I'm going to say it's just a little bit lower. I think they probably make it a policy kind of not to...
A little bit lower than 58, you think? Actual number of stewardesses who have accepted a date from a passenger is 58 on the truck. Barry-Jean. Congratulations to you. Now, my friend, what that means, you hit it exactly on the button. We now give you $500. Not only that, You've won control of the cards, and let's play them now. Here's your base card. It's a jack. Lower than the jack. Your card is an 8. Play to freeze it.
We'll freeze.
Freeze there. So you have a slight lead in this game number 2. We'll pause for these commercial words. Be right back with Tammie and Varyajan and more Card Shark right after this. Welcome back to Card Shark. We have to pause. We will be back next time to pick up this game between Varyajan and our champion Tammie, who won, what, $9,600? Oh, isn't that neat? Until next time, I'm Bob Eubanks with Gene Woods, Susanna Williams, Lacey Pemberton, and the whole gang saying thank you for watching Card Shark. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Some of our departing contestants will receive a cookbook and new shake and bake coating mix for fish, a great tasting recipe with delicious seasoning, and a touch of lemon for moist and crispy fish. And a gift certificate from Sears Spring Summer Catalog with over 1,200 pages of ideas. 1-800-453-7000. And a silver serving tray and rich creamy Heath ice cream bars with crunchy toffee tidbits mixed right in. That's why you can't beat a Heath. And the member of our studio audience will receive Sierra's Cricket on the Hearth, an insert tested in major zero clearance fireplaces for installed freestanding, closer to combustibles than many wood stoves from Sierra. This is Gene Wood speaking for Card Shark, a Mark Goodson television production.